I feel that all these basic first aid, everyone should be educated about it, so that all of us try to help out the people around us, and when someone is suffering, it's all of us have compassion on them, and we try helping them out when we're in a crowd, and we try giving them water or this or that. But when you are trying to help them out, you also have to learn what is the right thing to do for that person and do the right thing, right? You don't want to cause harm in any way. So that's why I made this video. Hi friends, I am Dr. Anne and welcome to another dose of happiness and health. I upload videos every weekend, so if you still haven't subscribed to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and let's learn new things each week. I thought I'd talk a little bit about choking, what to do, how to find out if someone is choking, and ways to prevent people from choking and how to help them out, the Heimlich manual, what about children, and all those. So let's dive into the video. So before I start, I really don't have to define who is choking, right? When you know someone is choking, like they had something to eat or something to drink and now they can't breathe, they're coughing violently, they become unconscious, they can't breathe and they're collapsing, and that's how you know that someone is choking. Now, before I talk about the treatment of choking, I thought I'd talk a little bit about the anatomy so that you will understand why people choke on different stuff, and when you have a better idea about what's happening in your body, you will understand why you shouldn't do certain stuff, right? So as I already talked in my previous video, I was talking about the throat, how we have the windpipe in the front and the food pipe in the back. We have the throat and then it divides into two, the windpipe and the food pipe. And when we breathe, the air goes into our windpipe, and when we eat, the food goes into a food pipe. So how does the food we eat not go into the windpipe? How does the food actually know which pipe to go into? That's because we have a cartilage on the windpipe, and when you swallow food, the cartilage closes the windpipe and then the food goes into the food pipe. The windpipe is called the trachea and the food pipe is called the esophagus. So when you swallow food, the cartilage called epiglottis, it closes the windpipe and the food goes into the esophagus. And I would like to add a little more about it. The food pipe, the esophagus, is a muscular pipe. So it doesn't have any structure to it. It's a collapsed pipe, and that's not the same for the windpipe. It's always kept open because the windpipe has cartilaginous rings in it. It has cartilaginous rings. It has cartilaginous rings in it so that the air, when we're breathing, it doesn't collapse. But the food pipe can collapse because when you swallow food, it has to go in. And when you swallow it, the muscles in the tongue push the food into the food pipe, and then the muscles in the food pipe like push it down into the stomach. But when you need air, but when you're breathing air, it's not the same. You can't like push air. You don't push air into the lungs, right? You just breathe it and it goes in, and then it comes back up. So the windpipe is kept open by cartilaginous rings in it, and so the windpipe is always open. That's why we need the esophagus to close. Now that's why you need the epiglottis to open and close, whereas the esophagus is completely collapsed, and when food enters, the tongue will push the food into the pharynx and then into the pharynx and then into the esophagus, and the muscles will contract and take the food into the stomach. So now there is this one thing we have learned now. The windpipe is always open. It is guarded only by the epiglottis, whereas the food pipe is always collapsed and only when you swallow food it goes in. So now I'm going to ask you a question. A person is sleeping or a person is unconscious. Will you give them water to drink? Because I have seen this so many times, like when someone collapses, someone is unconscious, people just come running over as if giving first aid, and then they give water to the unconscious patient. So why do we do that? It's not supposed to be done, because when you're unconscious, when you give water, where is it going to go? The food pipe is all collapsed, it's not contracting, and when unconscious the patient, so when someone is unconscious, the person is all when the person is unconscious, his muscles are all relaxed, and then the epiglottis will also be open. So never, never, never give water to someone who is unconscious. Please don't do that. You can sprinkle water on their face, you can do something else like that, but please do not give them water. And also elderly people, like when they're not feeling well, when they're very sick, sometimes to make them feel better, don't give water or milk against their will. I mean, if they ask for a drink, you can give them milk. If they're conscious and they're talking, you can give them milk. Otherwise, don't give milk. Don't give food to an unconscious person, a semi-conscious person, a person who's sleeping, anyone, not just elderly, to a normal person also. If you see someone who's not doing well, please don't give them food. That's why in the ICUs, so have you ever wondered how doctors in the hospital feed people who are unconscious or who are too weak to swallow food and do all this mechanics in the neck? Have you ever wondered? We put a tube through the nose and it goes directly into the stomach or even deeper into the jejunum, and that's how those people eat. So that's why so when a tube goes directly from your nose into your stomach, there's no possibility of the food going into your windpipe, right? So that's how we do it in the hospitals. So before I move over to the next topic, I want to repeat it again and again and again. Please do not give food or water or milk or whatever to a person who's not conscious, who's semi-conscious, who's unconscious, who's sleeping, who's lying on their back. Do not give it. Do not give it. You are actually harming them more than helping them out. So when you see someone unconscious on the road, please do not do it. Maybe sprinkle some water on them, call for help, get an ambulance and send them to the hospital. Giving water is doing good by no way, so please do not do that. Okay, but I hope I didn't sound too harsh, but I have seen it happen so many times and it really ticks me off. And now that I have this platform where I can talk about stuff that really bothers me, I thought I really had to get it out so that you will know how important it is and how important you should not do. Okay, so someone actually ate something, or so now we're not talking about the unconscious people, we're talking about someone who's conscious. They ate something and they are choking. Maybe they had a piece of meat or a peanut, or maybe it's a child and they didn't chew, or maybe it's an elderly and they tried chewing, and instead of going into the food pipe, the food went into the windpipe. So what do we do now? As you know, when that happens, you must have seen, all of us, when we are eating and it accidentally, sometimes that happens to me quite a lot, but sometimes when the food goes into our windpipe, you must have seen that immediately we start coughing. When food goes into our windpipe, we immediately start coughing. So what do you do when someone like that is, their food goes into the windpipe and they start coughing? Let them cough. The body, it's a reflex. So when you cough, the forceful ejection of air, it will push the food out through the windpipe and it will come back into the mouth. Now, I have seen this happen so many times in public when someone is eating and someone starts coughing, and immediately the people, what they do is they give them water to drink. Hey, drink water, don't cough, what's happening, don't cough. I mean, please, when someone is coughing, when someone is coughing because food went into the windpipe, please give them space, let them cough it out. Don't disturb them. Don't say, please don't cough, here, have some water to drink, please stop coughing. Don't do that. When someone is coughing because some food or water went into the windpipe, just give them some space, let them cough it out. Okay, that is the first step you do when someone is choking. When they're coughing because something went inside their windpipe, you do not disturb them, you let them cough, because a coughing is one of our protective reflexes. When something goes into a windpipe, our cough brings the food back up so that we are safe. So, and again, please don't hit their head like, oh, you're coughing and someone will say, hit. Don't hit the head. When you're hitting the head, because of gravity, the foreign body, it will go back in. Please do not touch the head. That is not what you're supposed to do. I will be teaching you what you should do, but just keep in mind that when someone is coughing because food went inside their windpipe or water went inside the windpipe, just give them space, let them cough it off, and please don't like hit their head and do all crazy stuff. Sometimes I know, like sometimes we are trying to be helpful, but sometimes when we're not properly educated, when we're trying to be helpful, it turns out to be dangerous to the person we're trying to help. So I feel that everyone should be educated about what they're doing, so that you can, I know all of us have best motives. That way we're trying to help people out when someone is coughing. I mean, it's natural to want to help them. I mean, when you see someone suffering and they're coughing, it's natural to like want to help them out, and even when like, oh, stop coughing, we say all that. But when you really know what's best for them, you won't do that, right? So I want everyone to be educated about what to do when you see someone choking. Okay, that's the first point. Okay, you let them cough it off. So what happens when the food they're choking on does not come out when they're coughing? What do? Okay, there's when we come into the Heimlich maneuver. Okay, some books say that you give only the Heimlich maneuver, some books say you give back blows and the Heimlich maneuver. So I want to say both. You make the person bend forward and you give 5 blows in the back, not up here, but in the back, in the middle, between the shoulder blades, so that you give nice forceful blows on the back, that it pushes the food from down to up. So remember that you have to make them bend forward first, and then you have to tap them at the back, so that you push the food from down to up. Don't tap them in the top. You don't want to push the food from up to down. You want to push the food from down to up. So make them bend forward and tap it so that the food comes from down to up. Okay, that's the second point. And then the third is the Heimlich maneuver. How do you do the Heimlich maneuver? You do a fist, you hold them tight, and you give a sudden thrust in front, so that the sudden pressure, it forces air up through the lungs and through the windpipe, and they cough it up. So that's the Heimlich maneuver. I'll put the picture up here so that you can also have a look and be educated. So those are the basic steps. If it's not coming back out when you're doing the back blows and the Heimlich maneuver, just keep trying it again and give more back blows. Give 5 back blows, give 5 Heimlich maneuvers, give 5 back blows, give 5 Heimlich maneuvers, because if someone can't breathe, there's very little time before they collapse and go unconscious. So it's very critical that you learn how to do this and be educated about what to do. So keep doing it again and again. And one person should always you should always send a person to call for help, to call an ambulance or a nurse or a healthcare provider, so that someone can come over and help them out. So always best you take them immediately to the hospital, so that you don't delay or cause any complications. And it's different when an infant less than 1 year, it's different for when an infant less than 1 year is choking. So I'll put it's also up on the screen, so you can have a look at that and see that you have to hold them downwards, and the same way you give back blows and you do the Heimlich maneuver for them also, and you keep repeating it again and again till it comes out. And I want to emphasize again, when someone is coughing, that is the first step. Please let them cough it out. Please don't disturb them and cause any complication. Just let them cough it off, so that so that we can save someone else's life also. So someone has already collapsed. You saw them choking and you did the back blows, the Heimlich maneuver, and they've already collapsed. If they have collapsed, start CPR, start giving them chest compressions and mouth-to-mouth resuscitation until help arrives. Keep them breathing, assist them in their breathing, and hope for the best. And then what about, so let's think of another scenario. You're all alone at home and you're eating something, and suddenly you start choking when you're all alone. What are you going to do now? Can you do the Heimlich maneuver on yourself? Obviously we can't do the back blows on ourselves, we can't teach our back, but can you do the Heimlich maneuver on ourselves? It is possible. So find a chair or a table that's of appropriate height, and then throw yourself or push yourself, so that you give enough force to give yourself the Heimlich maneuver, and so that you can get the part out. So as I already said, when someone is unconscious, when someone is not feeling well, when they're semi-conscious, We anesthetists in the ICU, when we have someone like that, when someone is on the ventilator, we do not give them food to eat, because when people who do not have enough muscle power, their epiglottis also might not be working properly, so it's a risk to take when giving food or water. So in those cases, we put the nasogastric tube for them, so that the tube goes in through the nose and directly into the stomach, so that it doesn't go into the windpipe. So I hope that you found this video useful, because I feel that all these basic first aid, everyone should be educated about it, so that, I mean, all of us try to help out the people around us, and when someone is suffering, it's all of us have compassion on them, and we try helping them out when we're in a crowd, and we try giving them water or this or that. But I mean, when you are trying to help them out, you also have to learn what is the right thing to do for that person and do the right thing, right? You don't want to cause harm in any way. So that's why I made this video. I hope you found it useful, and if you found it useful, don't forget to share it with your friends, so that they also can help out the public. You can help out the society, so that when you go to a restaurant and you see someone needing your help, you can go and help them out. Or when you're having dinner at home and one of your family members, one of your dear ones, they're coughing up their food, just let them cough it up, so that it won't do any damage for them. So it's as simple as that. When someone is coughing, just please let them cough it up, and then they'll all be fine. Please don't tell, oh, have some water. That's not how you show your care to someone. So I hope you found this video useful, and don't forget to subscribe, so that you can also learn a little bit more about stuff like these. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll meet again next weekend. Bye.